Hello, everybody out there in Internet land. It's Crazy Delaney here once again, and the Holocaust role-playing game that Scientology has been playing, well, since forever, really gets on my nerves. By Holocaust role-playing game, I mean their constant references to their plight in the modern world, and their belief that they are the Jews of the 21st century. Honestly, I've never been moved by it. I would suggest Scientologists talk to members of the Baha'i faith in Iran, and then talk to me about persecution. The whole persecution complex gets especially sickening, though, in light of the Church's ultimate vision for the world, namely a world without war, criminality, or insanity. It's my opinion, judging by the works of L. Ron Hubbard I've exposed myself to, that the Church sees this goal being accomplished through a type of surgery on the world, if you will, a removal of undesirable elements. We've all seen the quote from Science of Survival bandied about. You know the one I'm talking about that speaks of the deletion of people on the lower bands of the emotional tone scale. There's been quite a bit of spin floating around regarding that passage recently that basically defends the quote, saying all Hubbard is really talking about is denying those people Scientology services. It quotes a Hubbard policy letter, the piece of spin. I'll put it in the sidebar so you can read it. It quotes a Hubbard policy letter that says, "Our policy is we don't waste time on them. To cater to them is to betray 90% of the population. So we set them aside for another day. We get them off lines, out of the orgs, and to one side." And it says, "In this fashion they are indeed disposed of quietly and without sorrow." I'd invite anyone to read the passage in question from Science of Survival and make up your mind whether that explanation is reasonable or not. One thing I find interesting is that a lot of the prominent Scientology accounts on YouTube started spin control on the Science of Survival passage at around the same time, which leads me to hypothesize that a lot of the pro-Scientology accounts you see here are actually part of some PR unit. It sounds tinfoily, but given the character of the Church historically, I doubt too many of the Scientology public are on the internet countering in Theta on their own time, but that's just my personal opinion. Just ask anyone who has read or posted on the alt.religion.scientology newsgroup for a long time. What I really wanted to highlight, though, is some comments made by the user ArcWins on a video made by JMBrandon9. JMBrandon9 made a video where he basically asked what would be done with the truly mentally ill should Scientology ever destroy psychiatry and supplant it. And ArcWins started commenting and basically comes out and says some people would need to be purged from society in order to save the rest, and he says this purging would not necessarily mean killing anyone. He says that it could mean isolating people, which is so much better. Right. Maybe I'm just overly sensitive, but that kind of turns my stomach. It's thoughts such as this that I'd really like to counter, and I'd like to point out to the public that this is the type of poisonous thought that they might end up adopting should they ever pick up the cans. The last thing I want to address is the hue and cry lately has been that I've sought to promote hatred or discrimination or intolerance against people because of their beliefs. This is alarmist bullshit. All I've sought to do is assault ideas I myself have concluded are dangerous. I don't want to impede the ability of anyone to believe whatever they like, but letting people believe whatever they like doesn't mean I'm not going to counter ideas that I think need to be countered. That is all for now. Peace, victory, and as always, drive safe. Crazy Delaney, out.